Okay, Capt Buster with another teachable moment. You know, last time I talked to y'all, I was telling you about my mama, and I got to thinking about her again while I was in the stand this morning. I just got down, but I told you about how we used to pick at one another and pull jokes on one another. We just had a lot of fun in our family, and I remembered couple of instances where we got Momma. Well, we felt like we got her. She got us back pretty good. But me and Earl slept on bunk beds, and I always slept in the top bunk because Earl had a tendency to fall out the bed, and it wouldn't be good if he fell out the top bunk because they were high. And so every morning during the cold weather, Momma would come in there and wake us up for school, and she would always go into the heating hall. We had them old propane gas floor heaters, and Daddy would always run the temperature back to about 32 at night. Of course, me and Earl slept with the windows open year round, open out onto a screen porch, so we loved to sleep in a cold room, covered up with about yay many quilts, you know. But she'd always go into the heating hall, run the thermostat up, and then she'd have to jar, her or Daddy, whoever was doing it, would have to jar them old gas heaters so they'd come on and they'd stomp the floor, whoop. And I'd always hear when she stomped that floor, and you'd hear the heat go woo when it would come on, so I'd always wake up. So she was always a little concerned about me or Earl falling off the top bunk. So I turned my back toward the door that morning. I was probably about 16 years old. And she opened the door, and when she did, I pushed my body off until I was just it looked like I was fixing to fall off that top bunk. And she come through the door and she says, "All right, y'all get it." And then she said, "Buster!" She come running over there, and she's trying to hold me. And I'm got my back toward her, and I'm pushing myself off, you know. And she's trying to hold me. She's hollering, "Wake up, wake up, wake up!" And I kept pushing. And she finally ended up with me on her shoulder, and her hit me with her hand saying, "Wake up, wake up." And she was working so hard till I got tickled. And she felt me shaking because I was laughing, and she realized what was going on. And she flipped that switch real quick from saving a life to taking a life. And she started beating on me and wearing me out, but of course, I was big enough, she really wasn't hurting me, but I was acting like she was hurting me. And she would beat me. She said, "You like to scare me to death," and she just kept beating me. Well, I enjoyed that. Well, a few days later, my brother Earl, he always enjoyed playing with ropes. He'd make lassos and all kind of stuff. And back in those days, you know, we didn't have games and all that stuff to play on TV. We had just got a TV. And so he would play with the rope and do all kind of stuff. And she'd say, "Don't you ever go to bed playing with them ropes." She said, "'cause you liable to get that thing wrapped around your neck and choke yourself to death." So he said, "Okay, Mom, I won't do it." Well, several mornings later, I heard her when she hit the floor and all and opened the door. She says, "All right, y'all get up." And she screamed. She says, "Earl!" And so I looked down real quick, and I could tell right off he wasn't dead, but he had wrapped that rope around his neck and run his tongue out like that. And Mom was hollering, "Earl, Earl!" And she was trying to get that rope unwrapped, and he was laying there with his tongue run out. And I'm sitting up there watching all this, like watching a movie picture show. And she was unrolling that rope, and then he got tickled. And when she did, she said, "Earl!" And she flipped that switch on him. She went from saving a life to taking a life. And she beat him. Of course, he was covered up with the cover. She wasn't doing nothing but just beating on the cover. But we like to scared that woman to death. And I reckon I should repent of it, but it was so much fun. We enjoyed that. Anyway, teachable moment. When you do your mama like that, be sure you got cover that you can cover up, because when she starts beating you, it don't hurt near as bad. Teachable moment.